we look at the playable species of Animaeris, each one has very different characteristics. At the moment, there are 15 distinct playable species, and many of them also include their own subspecies variations. For example, humans are the species we all recognize. They are highly adaptive, very versatile, and they tend to learn faster than most others. Within multi-class systems, humans usually progress more flexibly. Then we have the Loreans. Loreans are plant-born beings. They gain different traits through sunlight and environment adaptation. Here we can see an example of a Lorean. Next, we have the Lunari. The Lunari are descendants of the moon. They possess unique rhythms and celestial powers. They eventually become a very distinct species of their own. Then we have the Nemons. Nemons are insectoid humanoids. Their appearance alone often creates fear or pressure around them. Here we can see another example of a Nemon. Loreans are another species, like flues through their blood, and they possess their own unique biological traits. They are generally known for crystalline or glass-like structures. Reptis are divided into multiple biological paths: turtle, frog, lizard, and dragon-based variations. They evolve through different biological adaptations. Here we can see a few examples of Reptis. Then we have the Zemirs. Zemirs possess crystalline bodies and they can reshape part of themselves. Their evolution paths are very unique. Visually, they usually appear with crystal-like eyes and structures. The Zemirs are descendants of Simurgh. As expected, they are winged beings. And then we have the Animaeris. These species are highly acrobatic and extremely dynamic physically. Here we can see one of their concepts. The Zemirs grow stronger underwater. They become very difficult to break inside aquatic environments. And here we can see an example of a Zemir. Barbars are physically powerful species. At the same time, their clans and cultures can vary greatly between each other. There are many different Barbar clans through Animaeris. The Saxars are said to be descendants of the last Titan. Their physical strength is extremely high. This here would be considered a Saxar. The Elves are divided into 5 primal paths: root, flame, ocean, sky, and nature. Each path grants different characteristics. For example, here we can see a flame elf. Felis are feline humanoids. Luck often follows them, although sometimes misfortune follows as well. And here we can see an example of a Felis. The Geberics are beings who returned from death, but they are not fully undead either. They exist somewhere in between. Geberics can also attach different body parts to themselves. On the next page, we can see a Testodon. Here we have one of the Testodon illustrations. In Silt stories, species are never static templates. To understand them, we first need to learn 2 important concepts: Keystones and Threshold abilities. These systems are tied directly to species evolution. Species do not follow standard class progression. Instead, they have their own progression paths, exclusive abilities, subspecies variations, and evolutionary transformations. Milestones and thresholds work through actions and experiences. For example, participating in conflicts, discovering hidden locations, or completing species-specific objectives. All of these systems are explained in the book. And what do players gain from this? Unique traits, cultural abilities, biological adaptations, metaphysical transformations, and species evolutions. Each species develops differently. We also have subspecies system and hybridization mechanics. These evolutions can change combat styles, increase interaction potential, expand survival mechanics, and strengthen metaphysical interaction. As I mentioned earlier, there are currently 15 unique playable species plus additional subspecies variations. At the moment, there are probably around 20 additional subspecies as well. Here, for example, we can see a species with subspecies. This character is a reptile. And here we have a full Testodon species page. Each species page contains its own passive abilities, active abilities, traits, and progression structures. For example, Testodons possess shell-based abilities. When we examine these abilities, we can see cooldowns, casting time, duration, targets, and save structures. For example, damage is first applied to the shell before reaching the Testodon's actual health. If the shell is destroyed, it cannot regenerate immediately and requires recovery time. Threshold systems also evolve abilities further. For example, a Testodon may need to exhaust its shell multiple times before unlocking a stronger evolutionary ability. After fulfilling the condition, new abilities become available alongside stronger transformations. Some of these evolutions also require rituals, meditation, or environmental conditions. As progression continues, species abilities evolve further through new keystones and new thresholds and increasingly powerful transformations. And all of this happens independently from class progression.